Hey guys, welcome back. So we're over here on field 15 doing some plowing, and I thought I'd go ahead and bring you on in. It's mid-morning. We've been hard at it since 6 a.m. and we're making a pretty good dent in the field. But again, I think this is pretty much going to take all day. Our helper's back, and she's over on field 27, working with her manure spreader, getting that all fertilized up. And again, the reason we're putting manure down is that we've got the plow bonus, where once we plow the field with manure in it, we get a second fertilization level. So we're getting 2 fertilizations off of 1 application. That is ultimately saving us a little bit of time. It is day 4. We've got 20 days left in spring. So far we've got 2 fields plowed. We've got 4 fields fertilized to level 2. We will be hopefully done all of our plowing and fertilizing in about 4 or 5 days. And that'll then lead us with plenty of time to do cultivation and seeding before the end of spring. So I'm plowing this in cab because I found a pretty good sight line that allows us to make up pretty much optimal use of the plow, and that is to keep this left light here that is just in front of the handle. Keep that left light basically on the edge of plowed and unplowed ground, and if we do that, you'll see that our plow it's got a little bit of an overlap, but not too terrible much. So we can pretty much just drive around and leave that light over there about on that plowed and unplowed line, and be reasonably confident that we are not going to be missing any spots. The only spot we might be missing would be on some pretty sharp turns. We're basically just plowing this in circles. Given the shape of this field and the fact that there's a fairly large grove of trees in the middle, this seemed to be the optimal path, is to just make a bunch of circles. You can see the stand of trees there. We've got the dairy over here to our left, I believe. And this 8530, she's a brute, and she's taking these hills with no problem whatsoever. We do bog down around 5 miles an hour coming up the big slope, which will be over here in a little bit. We'll be able to see our hired helper here in a little bit, fertilizing the field, which is basically just ahead of us. And interesting enough, this field seems to have some pretty tough wild flowers growing in it that we're not able to plow up. Those things must be really deeply rooted into the ground, which is fine. We're going to put grass in this field to support our cattle operations. So we're going to need plenty of grass to make hay and make silage from. So we're going to go ahead and use this field here, and mostly because it does have that big grove of trees in the middle, we can basically mow and bale in circles around here. So this is where we would miss a spot if we kept to our normal scheme. Now our manure spreader should be over there. Let's see if we can find her. Oh, there she is, coming down the hill. can see, this plow has got quite the power to be pulling up this hill. Here you can see one of the random grove of random stand of wildflowers here that the plow doesn't seem to be able to take out, but like I said, that's fine. It won't hinder our grass growth at all. So once again, we're going to kick this in high gear and see if we can't hammer this field out before the end of the day, and hope you all enjoy the music. So I was just noticing that that field directly in front of us has a heck of an incline on its heck of a slope on the field there, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that one that we own? And I was looking at the map, and it doesn't look like it is. It looks like that's field 30. So we don't own that field. We own 28, but we do not own field 30, so we don't have to worry about that one, at least for now. So I see our fertilizer worker is, or manure worker is off for another load. While we were busy over here plowing, they have managed to not only finish field 28, but they are putting a pretty big chunk of a hurtin' on field 14 there. That leaves us, I think, 3 fields left to fertilize with manure. Let's take a look at our map here. So we are working on, they're working on field, where are they at? They're on field 14 right now. We still need to get to field 19, and then we need to get to field 31 and 34. Because our worker actually already did the other fields, field 17 and 18. They've already also gotten to that one also. So they've been very productive today. We feel pretty much we've been stuck in this field the entire day plowing, and it is almost 8 o'clock. When our worker gets back from the manure run, we'll let them go ahead and go on home, and then we'll probably be in a position to take it back to the farm and get back to the house for some reasonable time for some dinner. Like I said, this field's interesting shape pretty much led it to be plowed in circles, as opposed to the more contemporary north-south or east-west runs. Alright, I think we will finish this up. It looks like our hired hand is on their way back with a load of manure, so we'll see if we can't meet up with them before they get started on their spreading. Will do it. Another field plowed. Like I said, we're going to sit here and we're just going to sit here and wait for our hired hand to come on back. Then we'll meet them in the field and let them know that they can head on home. Oh, here they come! I can tell the solid telltale signs of those bright headlights. They must be going into the to the other entrance. Let's go on over here and see if we can't figure out where they're going to be going back to. I think they see us coming. Let's go ahead and tell her she can stop for the night. Alright, we sent her on home for the evening and thanked her for her great work. We're going to go ahead and bring this on back to the farm. Park it and see if we can't get back to the house for some late night grub. Still need to try to figure out where our where we can take our local chicken eggs to. haven't quite had an opportunity to explore to figure out where we can take our eggs. I'm just going to spin this on around and park it here, and take her on back to the house. Alright, another early morning. That is day 5 of spring. Let's go ahead and take it on back here into the road. Oops. That's what I get for not looking. I'm going to do my best to drive on the proper side of the road. I don't know how well I'll be able to do that, but we will try, at least. We've got rain in the forecast today. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get everything plowed or not. Hopefully the ground will not get too wet. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get our eggs here picked up. After all, it's going to be quite some time before we get any other income other than these chicken eggs. Alright, let's get on over here and get back to plowing. We've got the field, see, what do we got? We got field 28 to plow, and we could also plow field 14 once we're done doing some fertilizing over there. I think I told our, I think I remember telling our helper that she can come on back and just get on into the field and get to work. I think she's supposed to be here around 7 o'clock, so it's still a little bit early for her. So we're going to go ahead and get down here and get set up and start plowing, and we'll see her when she gets here. So our dealer was telling me that they had a pretty good deal on a couple John Deere planters and seeders. So they're going to bring a couple in, get a couple shipped in here, because obviously they don't have the storage. And we're going to take a look at those here in a couple of days. As possible, they're going to give us possibly a pretty good trading credit on the equipment we have now that we kept, just in the event that we would be using it to plant. Alright. Let's see here. unfold this and drop her down. And we'll get to planting, or get to plowing. So this field is a rather interesting shape. It seems to, the road seems to cut through and around it to get up this hill. We'll have a nice look at it as we make our first cut around. So I hope you guys are enjoying the 24-day seasons play here. I know we're only in day 5, and we've done a fair bit of plowing, and that's pretty much all you're seeing us do so far. But that's pretty much all there is to do at this point. We got to do field prep. We'll soon be done field prep. At this point, we have 4 big fields left to plow and 2 small fields left to plow. And then we will start doing our seed bed preparation. Probably be bringing in cultivator and cultivating the fields, and then we'll be doing our seeding. So we've got another 19 days of spring to go. So we are pretty much pacing ourselves. We don't need to be doing everything real super quick with a whole bunch of hired help, pretty much because there's no need to bring in a bunch of hired help. There's no real need to advance the storyline. Holy cow, this is an incline. This is where we definitely need the horsepower of this tractor. It's just way over the power rating needed for this plow, but add to it the difficult terrain here, and you're going to need every little bit of power you can muster to pull these implements up these inclines. Anyway, I was hoping everybody's enjoying their watching this series. There are several other YouTube folks who have jumped on and started their own 24-day seasons play. I encourage you to go check them out. Also, if you wish to follow along, over at PCSG is a 24-day seasons club that anyone is free to join. It is not required you to be in YouTube. It does not require you to actually do a 24 seasons gameplay. If you just want to follow along and chat it up with people who are doing the 24 days, feel free to first join the forum, PCSG, and then join the club, the 24 Day Seasons Club. If you are going to take a stab at playing 24 Day Seasons, please come over and join the club, because there's lots of useful information posted there. You'll be able to chat with other folks who are doing this particular season length, and I really think that it bodes to a little different game style, a little different strategy, because you could be about 60 to 65 days from when you start gameplay till you are doing a harvest. So if you are really spendy with your money up front, you may find yourself bankrupt long before your crops are ready to harvest. Now look at this. We've got first off, we've got a heck of a slant here, a heck of a grade on the field. It's a heck of a downhill run. Looks like they've got some construction going on. Maybe a busted out guardrail here. As we plow off the field. That is we need to be very careful bringing a loaded trailer down there. A loaded bale trailer might just roll there, so we need to make sure we don't bring a loaded bale trailer down here. So we're going to go ahead and do the rest of this field off camera and go ahead and get our hired help to finish fertilizing field 14. And we'll send them over to field 19 and we'll come back together here for you more toward the end of this game day. So I'll see you real soon. Well, guys, it's only been a few seconds for you, but it's been about an hour and 15 minutes of gameplay for me. This is the wonderful, beautiful sunset here on Churn Farms. It is 7:16 p.m. We are just finishing up. What is this? Field 28. There we go, and that does it. So our manure spreader was working down last time we talked. Was working down on field 14. It is now finished field 14 and is working over at what, field 19 now. So we are going to go and see if we can't for our plow real quick the two small fields, fields 17 and 18. See if we can't get them plowed before we stop for the night. They're over by field 19, so we will probably also go ahead and tell our hired hand that she can go ahead and go on home after putting in a great day's work. In fact, there she is in front of us. We may be able to catch up to her before she gets too far into that field and starts slinging the poo. See if we can't catch up. I think this tractor has a bit faster gear in it, but I don't know if she might have too much of a head start for us to catch up to her. Turn off here also, but see if we can. Alright, let's get her stopped. Alright, we got her stopped in time, so she's going to go ahead and head on home. We've got to go over here, and I think the entrance to the farm is right here. Yep. There's their sign. And turn on in here. And here's our field we're going to start in. Go ahead and open up. And drop it down. And let's see if we can go ahead and hammer this field out before midnight. We actually have this field and the adjacent field. Uh-oh. Just like some of our other fields, we seem to have some tree growth real close to the field edge. Here we have a utility pole trying to creep into the field's edge. These two fields are separated by a dirt access road. Take out the utility pole there. I think that's what's bringing in our electricity to the farm. This particular farm over here is our arable farm. We don't have any animals at this particular farm, but we do have our grain silo over here. Thinking those two poles were able to span the field, but it looks like we have a utility pole right smack in the middle of this field. I can thoroughly understand why the local utility company does not wish to bury their line through here. Obviously, they do not want us to plow their power line up, nor do we want to plow that power line up. That would be a very bad thing indeed. So it's kind of the poles are kind of the beast that you got to live with in these modern days. Thankfully, these two fields are fairly small in size, and we'll be able to take care of them real quick. And I've given a little thought, and we are in fact going to sell that plow that we kept. Initially we kept it thinking maybe we would use it to plow these smaller fields with, but this plow seems to be well maneuverable, and we're not having any problems pulling it through these smaller fields. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that, and we may get rid of that cultivator that we kept. And like I said earlier, our John Deere dealer has called us up and said that they knew that we were going to be planting a whole lot of crops this spring, and they knew the equipment that our great uncle had, and have offered to let us try out some bigger equipment. So they have already ordered it, and it is apparently getting delivered here in the next few days. So we want to see if we can't get our fields prepped and have them ready to try out that seeder, or those seeders when they roll in here. Let's hammer out this field and then get back to the house. Thankfully we had some dinner brought to us. We just ate it in the tractor real quick. Seems like so much of that is done during spring. Spring and autumn is pretty much eat in the tractor and have someone bring you some food and drink. And well, you know, there's a good thing that there's some woods right close to the field, because when nature calls, there's no time to run back to the house. If you know what I mean there. This plow is very maneuverable. We're able to get right up here to the fence. I can tell you, not all plows this large are this maneuverable or this accurate with respect to being able to plow. Some of them seem to jump around quite a bit or slide side to side, making plowing really close to something very dangerous that it might slide in and damage the fence post or a utility pole. Swing out here wide and make a big old turn. And we'll cut back the other way. Slowly chipping away at this field. So once we get this field done, we will have 3 more fields to plow. Sorry, we'll have 3 fields to fertilize with manure. We still have 4 fields to plow after this. We still need to take on field 14 with the plow, field 19, and field 32, 31 and 34. So once we get our manure done, we'll keep our hired hand on, and we'll have her start basically cultivating the fields. And we're going to cultivate the fields basically in the order that we're going to plant them. Meaning that we're going to put in our, we're going to cultivate our wheat field or wheat fields. I'm not sure if we're going to plant 1 or 2 fields of wheat. I think we're going to plant 2. So we're going to cultivate those first. And we'll cultivate the corn fields last, because we'll probably be putting corn down last. More passes on this field, and then we will drive back. Instead of going to the farm, we'll probably just drive back to the house and park over on field 14, which is right by the house, and that's where we're going to start first thing in the morning. So guys, I want to thank you all for watching these videos. If you like the videos, please click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please consider clicking the subscribe button. We have plenty of 24-day season content to come. We are literally just scratching the surface, just like we are scratching up these fields with our plow. If you also have time, I encourage you to go check out the 24-day seasons club over at PCSG. There are several PCSG members that are participating in what I call a loose challenge on playing 24-day seasons. There are a few YouTube personalities that are over at PCSG that are also streaming or recording and posting videos of their 24-day play. So if you're interested in this and want to know more, want to watch more, I encourage you to go check out these YouTube guys and see their streams or see their recordings of 24-day seasons play. Let's see here. Is this how we get out? Yep, looks like it is. Also encourage you to go check out the Three Dudes Gaming Network. I am one of the three dudes. Eustace Farmer and Grizzly Bear Sims is the other two of the three dudes. So I encourage you to go check that out. It's a really great web community. Let's see here, where is their entrance? Here's the entrance to our field. So we're just going to pull on in here and shut her down. We'll turn off our lights. Like I said, the Three Dudes Gaming Network is another really great web community to be a part of and check out. And links to both of those are in my description below. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching and happy farming.